Season 4 is finally out. Yeah, number one thing for Balrog is that there's really not many changes. However, I was playing with his EX-straight buffs yesterday, last night a little bit. I'll go into it more today. But it honestly feels like it's overall it's a positive movement for Balrog mains up in the tier list most likely, but it's kind of relative. They nerfed some of his bad matchups, but who is going to take their place has yet to be determined. Liability in this patch is that a lot of the low tiers got like real buffs. Falk, Alex, and Fong got real buffs. I'm not ready for that. So that's what you got to watch out for. But the top tiers that have been reigning for a long time, besides Akuma, are actually toned down. That combined with Balrog getting no nerfs, and he has more ways to play now, is what they did to him. They gave him a few more ways for players to choose how they want to approach their overall playstyle. Yeah, Alex is a real grappler. So big pluses for Balrog that you can see right off the bat. Cammy nerfed, Buki nerfed. Akuma no longer has plus frames on EX Demon Flip, so that's a plus, even though he's not really nerfed because he got other buffs. They constantly shift Akuma horizontally on the tier list, which means he's still number one. And that's like the biggest thing. Abigail nerfed, kind of a hard matchup for Rog. A lot of the problem matchups are toned down, and they gave Rog some nice buffs. So let's talk about what he actually got, right? Across the board, they were nerfing V-meter gain from certain crush counters, like the abusable ones. The ones with plus frames, they all got nerfed on their V-meter gain. So that's why you see standing heavy kick, they nerfed the V-gauge gain, but they buffed it on sweep and heavy punch, but that's pretty much across the board. Any of those buttons where they were like longer range but negative on block, they got buffed. So they kind of adjusted where you got your gauge from. So that's another theme. They nerfed a lot of V-gauge build. So heavy kick got nerfed, and also his KKB, the V skill, got nerfed again. So this is like 2 times in a row they nerfed his V-meter build, which does kind of hurt. Every once in a while, even in Season 3, I would try to predict that my next overhead would build V-trigger, and then it would be off by a pixel. So you got to watch out for that. But besides that, what they did is they kind of made all his resets from EX-straight real. Basically, if you do EX-straight and you V-skill cancel, on block, you're -2. So it's safe. Previously, if you did EX-straight V-skill cancel, you're actually -4 and punishable. This also means that there's less of a gap to interrupt the V-skill to overhead. It still loses the 3 and 4 frame jab, but it hits on the 5th frame now, and I think before it hit on like the 6th or 7th frame. It was a big gap. So if they reverse their button, they're still going to hit you. But the idea is that you can throw out EX dash punch and always commit to the V skill and hit confirm after the first hit connects and choose what you want to do after. If they block it, you don't press a button. If it hits and you V skill, you're +3, meaning you can do your light kick target combo and get guaranteed damage. And that does more damage than letting the EX dash straight rock. Or if it counter hits, you can even link a medium punch and do another dash punch after. New combo. 188 damage. And if you compare that to this, 150. So he actually gets a pretty significant damage buff from a lot of his hits. Any combo ending in EX dash straight, you actually get a 20 to 30 damage buff from a lot of hits. 239. So also, yeah, more stun as well. He kind of became a real My First Street Fighter hit confirm character. Say he's on random counter hit. That one didn't counter hit. No counter hit. That one counter hit. Now you can combo EX standing medium punch into possibly another dash punch. You get to choose your options, and this gets real degenerate, right? Like, now suddenly I have this 2-bar combo that starts from a safe move. So, oh, I did it wrong. So I get like 300 damage and full screen corner carry. And the idea is not that that's amazing, because you can get better damage with 2 bars, right? But the idea is that this is safe. This is 1000% safe. I can just throw this out. That's -2 and you're point blank, so you are gonna get thrown. But you can play like this. You can just throw this out, and if you get a hit, you might be able to capitalize on it. And I think because you can do stuff like that, what if you start not canceling your dash punch? I think the threat of this is so much higher now because the gap is smaller. So if I did this and you're off by a frame or two, you're gonna get counter hit. Which means people are gonna start preemptively pressing buttons even more against the EX dash straight on block, because they might not be able to react to the spin. Or I can seriously just do something like this. That'll beat some buttons, not all. It's -2 now. There's more frame advantage on hit and block. So check this out. So this is also a really strong combo, but it used to require you to... It's semi-hit confirmable, I would say. On counter hit, EX dash punch, V-skill cancel to overhead actually combos. So what this means is if I have counter hit on random, you can practice this. It takes practice, but it's sort of hit confirmable, and worst comes to worst, you just don't do the overhead. Right? Worst comes to worst, you bail out. So it's doable. I was working on this a little bit, but it's amazing because there's no consequence to it. So you cancel no matter what. And if you cancel and you happen to not commit to the overhead, like I said before, you just do standing medium punch. So it gives them a lot of reason to just throw out EX dash straight. Hold on, let me get this recording down. Let me practice my wake up defensive options. Previously, if you did EX dash punch on hit and you V-skill canceled, you were only +0, meaning if you did the empty low, 3-frame jabs would actually beat you, and 4-frame jabs would trade because you're using a 4-frame low to get the confirm. That's real now. Both the high and the low reset are 1000% real. You cannot jab between them. The overhead was always what you did to beat mashing. This always beat mashing. But it was the only way you could beat mashing. You couldn't go low and beat somebody from mashing. So at the same time he gets some hit confirmability, he's also way more degenerate. Because you have to take that. You have to take that or reversal. Yeah, this might be a nightmare online. Like, it was already bad enough in some instances, but they made that even better. So yeah, here's the idea with this, is that he gets more damage. Yeah, say he gets a random hit like this, random jump. 332 versus... Normally you only got 315. So he gets to squeeze a little bit more damage out of every conversion to EX Dash Punch. But you have to think about what you're giving up here. So in the corner, I actually really do like the light kick knockdown if you're point blank in the corner. Okay. If you have a standing 3-frame, after the light kick Tara combo, you whiff crouching light kick twice and do standing medium punch, and you'll beat quick rise and back roll. And this knockdown, this whole conversion, it brings you in so close that it always works. So you get some kind of set play setup going there. And the same thing applies if they're a 4-frame jab character, it's even worse. There we go. So if it's a 4-frame jab, and you can make it even better with you see them back roll. It's meaty. So you get a really good setup from all your random hits. And the idea with that is it's not that different, because to be honest, you could do your V-Skill cancel and set up the same thing after EX Dash straight. It's just you get a little bit more damage, and I feel like this is just easier to perform. You're less likely to mess it up. It just sets you up to be +2 if they quick rise and +6 if they back roll. So you kind of get the same Oki in the corner. Mid screen, you get less pressure for sure. So it makes you have to think about how you want to play this. You either choose more damage or choose to follow up with pressure and build V meter. But they also nerf the V meter gain. So because they nerf V meter gain for Balrog, you're kind of incentivized to do combos ending in V skill P more often, because that's what's going to get you the V meter, right? So if I end my combo like this, I get 250 versus 288. So I'm losing 38 damage. However, if I do this, I can immediately throw you. I can immediately go low. I think the main thing comes down to, do you want V meter or do you want damage? If you do this combo ender mid screen, your pressure's not that good. If they quick rise, you get a good meaty, but if they mix it up with a lot of back rolls, back roll, you can't really, after this, you can't really get in there. They get too far. And if you try to chase down the back roll with like a dash punch V-Skill cancel, it's really easy for them to quick rise and hit you, because this setup I always mess up. At best, you're going to be 0 if you do this setup after this Tara combo. Or, yeah, he was doing the 4-frame jab, but if you have him do 3-frame, it's really difficult to do for some reason, and you trade at best. So the knockdown from this is not that good mid-screen options. The main thing is, though, the resets are super real now. You got to respect that. You could definitely mash between that before. And even more so than that, you can give them more reasons to be scared, because this is real. I do that a lot versus opponents when they're close to stun, because the back throw is like the best thing to do to stun them. And also, when they're close to stun, usually they're trying to block the high-low. But this is real. You're +3 on the V-Skill cancel. Real sequence. Let's see if this is actually possible. Oh, that's possible. More than possible. That was real too. They're all real. Every option you choose after that EX dash punch will beat any button. They have to reversal to get out of it. This one I was kind of curious about when I first read it. Dash straight extended the critical art cancel window by 1 frame. So I was wondering, does that mean we can try to hit confirm dash punch to super? And the answer is yeah, you kind of can. They gave him some hit confirmability. They're actually rewarding players who put in work and practice hit confirms with ROG. You have time to see the opponent reel back before you actually do it. So if you put this on random, like, it takes some practice, but I was practicing it last night and it's definitely doable. Like, it's definitely doable. But it's something to work on. So they gave ROG more advanced techniques. So it's kind of interesting. Like, he has some hit confirmability. Oh, I've been kind of hinting at this if you've been paying attention, but probably the biggest buff is EX upper to EX dash straight, or regular upper to EX dash straight is no longer like a 1 frame link in the corner. So another change, they increased the EX screw smash damage. I guess this is like his defensive buff for the season. I don't know. It's more punishable, but I don't think that will make a difference. You still can't neutral jump punish. You can't dash punish. EX screw smash. Now the only use this has now, since there's that universal nerf to DPs where you do 20% more damage on the first hit, you basically just need to punish DPs with that. So Javit's already posted this on Twitter, but I'll show it off too. So if you do a DP punish that's going to stun, you want to make sure that you hit them with a really high damaging move. You get super beefy damage now. I'm not sure if you build super there, but you just get ridiculous amounts of damage on the first hit. Oh wait. No, okay, you can't get super, but you get 584 without V trigger for a punish. No, let's see. So if you have full resources, you can get 658. So that's something to keep in mind with ROG. They buffed the damage on this, on the EX upper, so I guess they want us to use it more, but it's more punishable. Whatever. It was always as punishable as it's gonna get. So I don't really see that as a nerf. It's kind of inconsequential. And more damage for a get off me move, sure. It's nice, I guess. So, defensive buff. It's no throw invincibility on tap, but it's something. And this is where it's clear that they want you to think about how you want to play and strategize a little bit more. They continuously nerf V meter gain. So 3-bar V trigger, they nerfed all his ways to build the V trigger, and they incentivize you to choose options that don't build V meter. So you have to kind of think about which way you want to go about it. Do I want damage right now? Do I want V meter right now? Do I want this reset right now? So I'm not sure how it's going to play out, but maybe there's some matchups where you prioritize damage over V meter. Maybe there's some matchups where you prioritize the V trigger. So I don't know if it'll play out that much, because V trigger 1 is not, it's very powerful, but it's not an instant activate and win unless you get a random hit. And most people know how to avoid it at this point. And what they honestly did was they made EX dash straight the V trigger reset. Now every single hit with EX dash straight is sort of like the V trigger 1 reset. Yeah, that's about it. Super simple patch for ROG. And like I said, the main thing is top tier got nerfed, but Zangief got buffed. Zangief got buffed? So I don't know. It's gonna be, it might just be the same type of shift. Everyone else got juggled around and Balrog stays the same in the meta.